Well, rescuers are racing to locate potential survivors after record rainfall unleashed severe flooding and mudslides in central Japan over the weekend. At least 7 people have been killed after heavy rains. The river on the Noto Peninsula to burst its banks, sweeping away homes and forcing residents to flee to safety. Thousands of homes are without power. The region is still recovering from a powerful earthquake in January that killed at least 236 people. Well, for more, let's cross over to journalist Sonia Blachka in Tokyo. Noto province has been battered since late last week. What's the situation there now?
Yes, they really received the amount of rain in 3 hours that they usually just get in a month. So it's been really an unprecedented situation there. And fortunately now the weather is at least looking beneficial with regard to the rescue efforts. No rain forecast today and tomorrow. So the rescuers get a chance to catch up, and there is really a lot to catch up because there's still dozens of places that the rescuers actually cannot even get to. 5 people are still missing. They were swept away probably in houses that were along a river, and they're also still looking for a 14-year-old, for example. There's power outages, as you mentioned, and also a lack of access to water. So they are now sending water trucks to the area. So it's a very dire situation still there.
Sonia, in terms of government help, are there enough measures in place to protect people, or is this simply a case of a good plan being overwhelmed by the size of these weather events?
I think it's the latter, because really Japan is unfortunately quite used to these severe situations, whether it be because of the weather or natural disasters like earthquakes. And so they really do have lots of good procedures in place, both at the warning stage, there are different warning levels, but also when the disaster is underway, so to speak, they usually react quite quickly, asking people to evacuate really just in case. And so overall the procedures are really good. They've sent the military into the region to help the rescue efforts along. But this is just a one-in-a-century event, really, and there's only so much that you can do to prepare for these events, especially when they happen in regions like the Noto Peninsula, which is very remote, very rural, mountainous. So it's really difficult to just even get to people to help them.
Yeah, a once-in-a-century flood you mentioned, but not the only incident. A massive earthquake struck this region on New Year's Day, now floods. How are people there coping, firstly, I guess, with the clean-up from 2 disasters, but how are they contemplating continuing to live in the region?
The region, as I mentioned earlier, is facing the issue of depopulation anywhere. There are a lot of elderly people living there, and so it was a really difficult situation even before the 2 disasters. And now first the earthquake on New Year's Day and now the floods has left people really reeling and wondering, should we even continue to live there? They really just started to get some sort of positive, a little more positive outlook, making a bit of progress with the cleanup, and now they have to clean up again. There were people who said, we just moved into this temporary housing facility and now we have to start all over again. And the question is really, should we do this there, or should we actually maybe move to a bigger city and abandon places where maybe families have lived for hundreds of years?
Journalist Sonia Blachka in Tokyo, thank you so much.